My name is Ashford Hughes Sr. I am the co-chairman for the My Brother's Keeper Nashville Alliance. My story begins my sophomore year at Tennessee State when my best friend was killed in Knoxville, Tennessee. From that moment forward, I had another friend killed about 6 months later, and that started me changing my trajectory from being a business marketing major to a political science major because I wanted to be connected with the people that made the policies, the practices that had the young men in my community believing there was only one or two ways out, hooping or drugs. And from there on, making a promise to my grandmother and my best friend's mother, I decided to make the shift to be really engaged in community, to really build a community that fostered hope, love, and opportunity for all people, particularly Black boys. I always lean on my grandmother and my mother's guidance, two women that raised me that I owe everything that I have to. My grandmother's wisdom was always grounded in being a person that welcomes community. My grandmother her home always was the place in Knoxville that family members, that community members always stopped in to check in on her, always came over just to hear her laugh and to have a good time. The skill, the value that she brought to me was always have a welcoming home, a welcoming spirit for those that want to come in and just be heard, just be listened to, that want to build community with. My mother was one that always taught me to believe more in myself, that even more I knew I had in me. My mother was one that always pushed me, that I could always do more, that even when I thought I was doing my best, there was more left in me to give if I really reached and sought more for it. Those two women are laid the foundation, gathering and believing in myself. Those are two traditions, two traits that I hold near and dear and that have worked well for me as I've matriculated through my journey from college student, graduate student, to entry-level professional, now to continued executive level professional in Nashville. I think a past lesson that now guides me that I would give to the young people is to take time to be in silence, take time to think, take time away to process what's actually happening inside of you, what's happening around you. There's always been a lot of noise that's going on. Fortunately, I didn't grow up with a lot of social media, but now social media, technology is all around us, and it can cause a lot of distractions. For me, Sankofa is going back and realizing there is progress in the silence, understanding, listening to yourself, being able to plan, being able to mentally strategize, being able to mentally take rest in order to show up as your best. Those are some things that Sankofa, that our African tradition really teaches us to really dive into. Another piece of Sankofa that I would challenge anyone that wants to be a game changer: learn more, dive into African history, not just African American history, but also African American history, so we know where our roots are grounded in. And our roots are not grounded in the human trafficking of enslaved Africans. It starts prior to that. But that helps me ground our young people so they can have a vision and a hope for who they are and who they aspire to be. If we as individuals don't have any kind of context about where we came, it's hard to be grounded in where we're going and be focused on the present today. So Sankofa to me is more than just a saying, it is a lived experience. And being a game changer, a lived experience is always being a continuous learner. So learn about your history, your culture, and then move forward accordingly. One of the things that I know that I cherish and that my grandmother and my mother both instilled in me was to be a person that's a bridge builder. The talent that I really harness and utilize is, how do I bring community together? How do I bring people together to achieve a common goal? And through that process of bringing people together, how do we form relationships? I think building relationships, building community is a skill that has to be harnessed. As everybody is nervous about what AI means for us in the future, AI cannot take advantage of a person-to-person communication, building micro connections to help cultivate peace, to help cultivate love in our communities. And I think that is a skill set that I've always brought. Skill set of being happy, of being a person that is authentic in every space that I begin, because I know who I am. I'm grounded in becoming the person I aim to be, that is a community builder. I would really harness those skills. As my brother's keeper and as we continue to work throughout our community, we see that Oftentimes, men in our community, people in our community will make the small donations, $10 here, $50 there, to really help support the cause. It may not be an astronomical amount of money, but people are giving their dollars because they support what we're trying to do. We have a lot of men that come in and pour in their time. They talk to the kids about their experience. They talk to the young males about what they can do to be successful, the opportunities that can be afforded them. And I think from a place of resources, I think people's time and the money, any dollar that anybody can give us is a hard-earned dollar. When Black people give that back in their time and their experience to working with young people, that is a tremendous resource. It's not easy, and there's not a lot of people that seek to work with young people. Many of our adults have trauma that they haven't gotten rid of that took place in their childhood. So coming back and working with kids is not always easy. So the value of time, the value of coming in and spending time on a Saturday morning, on a Sunday afternoon, mentoring and working with young males is a valuable resource. The $50 to help our program, the $75 that people give out of their pockets to support the materials, to support the food, is a valuable philanthropic part of our program that we cherish from a community perspective. Our community is rich with the resources, and every and any time we have people, African American people, that are able to give what they can when they can, it is a valuable resource to My Brother's Keeper. To be a game changer, to me, is simple. And I won't butcher the quote, but Dr. King always spoke about building a beloved community. Being a game changer in philanthropy means, how are you evolving? How are you and your organization using the funds to support organizations that are building a better community, that are fostering hope and opportunity for people within their communities? Being a game changer in our community means, what are we doing every day to build a connection with somebody else, whether they're different from you, whether they have the same opinion as you do? What are we doing to build love, to build opportunity, and to build hope for all people within our communities? That's what a game changer is. I don't view game changers as titles. I don't view game changers as who has the most money. You are a game changer if you've decided to put yourself in the field to support someone else, to build a better community, and to do it so that everybody has access and opportunity. The things that we do every day, the things that we aspire to at My Brother's Keeper Alliance, are focused on how do we cultivate these young males to be positive, productive citizens within the Nashville community. A game changer is somebody that recognizes the opportunity, the hope, the aspirations of our young people, and puts those things to action within their organization. A game changer in philanthropy are those organizations that identify the people, the places that are doing the work, and they see that their work is changing and has the opportunity, the aspiration to change the community for the better, and they're willing to put their money where their community change wants to be. The wisdom I would give someone just starting out was, take your time. Be clear about your why you're in this space, why you want to make a difference. Be clear about why you're coming together and bringing people together. Be authentic, particularly as an African American person. Never focus on the old adage that I was taught growing up sometimes, you got to be twice as good. No, just be you. Be your best self every time you go out. Represent yourself well. Seek to build a community. Seek to build the spaces that you want to be involved in. Seek to build the community that you want to live in and be a part of. Seek to build a community that you want to grow a family within. There is a lot of resources. There are a lot of resources within our community. This Nashville ecosystem is rich, financially, socially, academically. Find your place in this community and thrive. Always recognize it doesn't take the mass assumption to make a difference. Start out with the first step. Start out with the first convening. Start out with your first $100, $200 supporting an organization. Work with them. Build up. Build the capacity to love within the community. Build the capacity to support beyond what you may even know about. And then be willing to learn. Everybody that is a game changer that's starting out, be willing to learn. You will always be a continuous learner. Never stop learning about your community, about the issue that you care about, but most importantly, never stop learning about yourself. Once you can really harness that skill, everything else will directly fall into place. Man, I'm really excited about the possibility of what I can create. There's a lot of anxiety in the economy right now. There's a lot of social anxiety because of the politics. But for me, particularly from the lens of supporting Black and brown boys or supporting our youth in general, this is a prime opportunity for us to build and create. So I'm excited about what I can create right now in this time. I'm excited about who I can bring together to cultivate something new, who I can bring together to enhance the great work that's already taken place. But we can do it to have a cultural lens to it. We can cultivate something that's going to not only help me, it's going to help those in North Nashville and West Nashville and South Nashville. I think as we look upon the aspiration of what Nashville aspires to be, it gives me hope right now that myself, my colleague Lionel Matthews, those that we work with our My Brother's Keeper Alliance, we are cultivating and building something new right now in the midst of the anxiety and the turmoil that's going on. We don't downplay it, but we know that in any time in history when there's ever been political uncertainty, there has always also been the opportunity to build, to cultivate, and to grow something anew. That is what excites me moving forward. And that is what I know God and where God is moving me in this place and time to be able to operationalize.